Detroit, 1982 was the year the recession became depression.
They had this idea that Japan was taking over the American economy.
U.S. auto jobs being lost to Japanese manufacturers.
Choked by imports and fighting for survival, the American auto industry and its army have targeted Japan as a major source of its problems.
We are being shot at and shot up by the Japanese.
I said, if I were president of the United States for 2 months, I said, I'd fix the Japanese like they've never been fixed.
Many of their verbal bullets aimed at the Japanese government and car makers have strayed off course and are hitting home instead.
Vincent Chin is Chinese American.
It was the day before his wedding, and he was just trying to have a good time, maybe get a drink. He's this young Chinese American guy.
These two white guys, Ronald Evans and Michael Nitz.
And we look out, and I see guys are fighting out there in the club.
Mr. Evans and Mr. Nitz jumped out from behind the truck.
Mr. Evans swung a bat, repeatedly striking Mr. Chin.
The man was a goner.
And in what outraged the Asian community, both escaped a 15-year prison term.
Yeah, we all were surprised that they didn't come to us and ask us what happened.
Didn't you have then the responsibility to ask for the other side of the case before you handed down the sentence?
Bill, I am the presiding judge in the criminal division of the Wayne Circuit Court. I have approximately 50 sentences every week.
When you have two police officers as eyewitnesses to any type of crime, I believe both officers should have been notified for court. Both officers should have went to court.
The only thing that really bugs me is that the response, especially from people in the legal community, has been that these things happen all the time.
In light of how many people go out of their way to antagonize people that look different than them, at least in this part of the country, it's surprising that there hasn't been more than one Vincent Chin incident.
Almost a generation later, in what ways do we see Vincent Chin's story repeat itself today?
COVID-19, I said, that's an odd name. I could give you many, many names. Kung flu, yeah.
I called for help, but nobody came for help.
And also the mocking tone, the bullying, there's really no coincidence that that stoked and inflamed anti-Asian sentiment. And no matter how many contributions Asian Americans make to the United States, that our history isn't taught and that we're still perceived as foreigners or outsiders.
We need to be vigilant, even when it's not in the media headlines. What we're trying to do is disrupt the cycle of violence. Advancing Just Chicago is working on the issues, including police accountability, immigrant rights, language access, coalition building, and grassroots organizing.